Welcome to the Hollywood Happy Hour podcast. I'm your host, Drew, and here with my co-host, Anthony. And this is episode 5. No, 4. 4?
4.
4. 4. Next week's episode 5. This is episode 4 of the podcast. So, yeah, so this last week, we weren't able to post an episode. Schedules got crazy again, but if you guys remember, our weekly showing was Sleepy Hollow with a maple old fashioned. And, yeah, we'll get more into our thoughts on that. Anthony, how you been?
Same old, same old.
Same
How about you? How you been?
You know what? Same old, same old. I finally got a car again after being in a wreck. So now I can finally get back to the theaters soon, which I'm excited about. There's literally like 7 movies I've been meaning to see, and now I finally can go see them. So I'm very excited about that.
Some good ones out there right now. You know, Terrifier 3, which was great.
I'm not seeing that one.
Oh, such a fun movie that was.
I saw a video though of the actor who plays whatever
Art the Clown.
Yeah, Art the Clown. He was walking around a convention in his costume, scaring people.
Yeah.
I thought that
He did it
was
at
cool.
Spirit Halloween too.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that movie, but then I've been meaning to see Joker. Even though I know it's gonna be bad, I literally have never heard anybody say a positive thing about it.
It's not bad.
Really?
It's not bad.
You're the first person I've heard say a positive thing. All my friends that I've talked to about it, they say it's the worst and I shouldn't waste my time.
That's not true. It does not deserve half of the hate it's getting. You know, most of the hate, and I've talked to plenty of people at both of my jobs about it. Half the hate it's getting is from people that didn't know it was a musical. I'm gonna touch base on this real quick. I had texted Drew last week when we were gonna record last week, saying I wanted to go off on a little tangent about Joker 2. So this is a perfect segue into that. Okay. The movie's a musical, but 1, that was announced from day 1. 2, the musical aspect of the movie makes sense. There's a reason for it. It's not just randomly a musical. It is different from the first movie. Is it as good as the first movie? No, I'm not saying it is. However, the story that they're telling and the way it plays out makes sense for the character of the Joker that they're telling with this storyline. The movie, you know, it does have kind of a divisive ending. Honestly, it didn't really get to me too much because I don't want to spoil it, but there's a lot of controversy around the ending. Personally, it didn't bother me, but I can understand why there is. To me, the movie's a solid 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5 out of 10. Like, it's good. I definitely want to watch it again. It does not deserve half the hate it's getting. It's just all of it's primarily because it's a musical. Now, there's other valid concerns of the movie out there, yes, absolutely, and I do understand and agree with some of them. The movie's not for everybody. At the end of the day, it's a very unique type of movie that does not lend itself to many audience members, which is, something that the movie falls short of, because anyone should be able to watch your movie and enjoy it. It's not meant for everybody, and that's okay. So the people that are saying they hate it for the other reasons other than it's a musical, valid. It is valid. But other than that, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'll probably still go see it. I'm just curious what all the hubbub is about, whatever the phrase is. Let me look at my AMC app, see what movies out there that I've been meaning to see.
Transformers 1.
Yeah.
So good.
I've been meaning to see that. And then The Wild Robot. And then
I can't bring myself to watch that one.
Really? Why not?
Because I'm afraid to cry in a movie theater.
Oh.
Last time I did that was Toy Story 3.
I'm curious about the Saturday Night Live movie.
Oh, yeah. I want to watch The Apprentice.
Yeah. The Apprentice seems like it would be interesting. Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump. And then Piece by Piece I want to watch. Joker I want to watch. And then I'm sure you've already seen it. Super Slash Man, the Christopher Reeve story.
Actually, no, I have not.
Really?
Haven't had a chance to. I was kind of pissed off that I didn't get to see it.
I would have expected you to be like a first person having the ticket for the first screening. That's crazy.
I had tickets for the very first showing. I did, and something came up, and I was not able to make it, unfortunately. And it bothered me quite a bit. But you know, I know I'm gonna see it. I'm honestly glad. It had such an amazing reception that like it was only supposed to have the 2 showings, September 25th, and then I forgot what the second one was. They were both a week apart, and they were only supposed to have those 2, but it did so well, and it got 100% in Rotten Tomatoes, which doesn't mean much to me, but it was enough for it to get a worldwide release and like a full release at like Cinemark and AMC, Regal, and multiple showtimes throughout the week. So that's actually nice to hear. Nice to see that story's getting out there.
Yeah, for sure. And then another movie I already have my ticket for, but I'm really excited about is We Live in Time. If you know about that one.
I actually don't know anything about that movie.
It's a new A24 film, and it stars Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh, and they play. It's like a romance type movie. Mm-hmm. It's like they're a couple and like their relationship and everything like that, and it looks so good. And I really want to watch it.
You know which A24 movie coming out I'm like super excited about? Y2K.
Yeah. I've been actually...
That one looks so good.
That will probably be really good.
Yeah, I love A24. They're so awesome.
I will say the one time I've ever regretted sitting and watching an A24 film was what's it called? Bodies.
I never watched that one.
Oh, it's so awful. It tried to be funny and tried to be like satire, but it just came off as annoying.
I still have to watch Beau is Afraid. I haven't seen that one yet.
I haven't seen that one either. I really wanted to see that though. And,
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. Holy crap, I'm like looking at the AMC and everything like that. I'm seeing all the movies they're bringing to the theater this month. It's like, whoa, they're bringing so many horror movies back into the theater this month at our
We
theater.
have we're doing Blumhouse, or sorry, it's called Blumfest. Right. So we had a bunch of movies coming back. Actually, speaking of, so I know you're not a horror fan, but you're familiar with the movie Black Phone?
I've seen that. I actually like that one.
But say you actually might like that if you hadn't, but that's cool. So you know the main kid in that movie?
Yes.
He actually lives here in Dallas, and he just had a movie come out called I believe it's called Monster Summer or something like that.
Oh.
And he was at our theater.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
He was just him and a bunch of friends, and like I don't know if I'm assuming just his friends, and his mother was there. They were taking pictures, and yeah, it was cool. He was just there hanging out. Nice guy. He's like That's 16, funny. But yeah, it was cool.
Yeah. Speaking of horror movies, shall we get into our movie talks?
Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of a precursor right now. So originally the plan was to do 2 episodes. However, I think we're just gonna do a double feature episode this week. Both movies in one. So last time we spoke, it was Sleepy Hollow, and then the movie that was supposed to come after that was Evil Dead Rise. Drew did end up watching both movies. I'm gonna love this so much. So first one was Sleepy Hollow. We're gonna get into that, and then for the second half of the episode, we'll get into Evil Dead Rise. So Sleepy Hollow.
Okay.
Go ahead. What are your thoughts on that one?
So right off the bat, I'll go off with a positive note here. Johnny Depp was really good in the movie. His character was interesting, and I thought the aesthetics of the movie were really cool. But to be honest, like this movie did not really do anything for me. It was kind of just like, okay. Like I wasn't really super interested the whole time. It didn't like draw me in. And then I found that all the other actors in the movie just be like, I don't know why. I just felt like Johnny Depp was pulling his weight like the whole time. Like he was dragging him along with him because he was clearly like the best actor there.
Yeah, I mean it was a stacked cast too.
Yeah, and it was just like I felt like everybody else was lacking, and then just the story. I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I was just like, I don't really have much to say about this one. I just wasn't a huge fan of it. So like. What?
See, okay.
What did, okay I'm kind of. Did I give Thanksgiving a 4?
A 4?
I think I gave Thanksgiving a 4.
Actually, we gotta talk about that too, real quick.
So I'm not giving Sleepy Hollow a 4. I'm giving Sleepy Hollow like a 6, 6.5, somewhere in there.
Could take that, especially for you not being a horror fan. I have a couple follow-up questions about Sleepy Hollow for you. The biggest one is, watching the movie, did it feel like a horror film to you?
No.
Really?
Mm-mm.
So, like, all right.
It just felt like a creepy thriller movie.
It's insane. For my entire life, I viewed it as a horror film, but that's because I saw it when I was 6 years old. And it scared the ever-living crap out of me as a kid.
Well, I can see why as a kid. You just see people getting beheaded like that.
Honestly, it really, I mean, it was the first scene when he chops off the head at the very beginning of the movie. That freaked me out. Well, especially because in Massachusetts, the drive home. So my mother, she had a full-time job, and then she went to school full-time. So she would pick me up from my grandmother's house late at night, and we would drive back to our apartment, and it was just, the highway was through the woods, basically. So it was just forest on both sides. So that on its own scared the crap out of me, because I was like, oh, shoot, we're in the forest, basically. And like, but then the other one that actually got me the most, that actually like stuck with me as a kid, was the scene where he breaks into the midwife's house and he kills the family and the kid.
Oh, right, yeah.
Like, because it was the whole under the floorboards thing, and then he kills the mother, and the head rolls, and the eyes look down through the floorboards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that always creeped me out, like, a lot. That one stuck with me the most as a kid.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. It was like, this one didn't really do it for me. I was very much like, okay, like, it's a movie.
You know what? I feel a little caught off guard right now, not gonna lie.
What, did you think I was gonna hate it or love it?
No, not that. I genuinely had no idea where you were gonna be with the movie. But you had texted me the other day saying you liked it.
The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, I kind of forgot everything about it in the movie, because I'm just like, I didn't really care that much. I was just like, it was decent. It was enjoyable. Would I probably watch it again, like, on my own accord? No. If somebody else was like, hey, let's sit and watch this as, like, a party, I'd be like, sure, why not? You know?
But you didn't hate it. That's good.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. It was like, I feel like that's, like, the safe choice to put on during, like, a Halloween party or something like that, if everybody's watching a movie, you know?
I can dig it. Did it give you the fall vibes, though? Like, did it put you... Yeah. It's usually like one of my big November movies. I love it. There's just something about it, you know. Like, I don't really know, but the tone of the movie, I think that's ultimately what I like the most. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Headless Horseman. But like, just the whole fall vibes of the movie just really it has a nice tone to it. Speaking of Headless Horseman, Christopher Walken, what'd you think?
I saw it coming from a mile away.
What do you mean?
Well, like, they kind of, like, made it seem like you were not supposed to know who the Headless Horseman was, and it was, like, in the end, when he, like, transforms and gets his head back, it was like, oh.
But you're supposed to know who he was. I was just talking about, like, what did you think of Christopher Walken as the Headless Horseman?
I mean, the 30 seconds he was in the movie?
That's fair.
Like, what am I supposed to say about that? He shows up in the end, and then it's all creepy, and, like...
He's at the beginning of the movie, too.
Yeah, for, like, 30 seconds.
See, I always thought that was the only actor in the movie that's just so out of place, is that Christopher Walken is the Headless Horseman. Like, it's like, and he's this comedy actor.
Yeah, it was out of place. Christopher Walken, I kind of just see randomly all the time, though, so it didn't surprise me.
That's fair.
Why is he the Emperor in Dune? Why is he the Gigantopithecus in Jungle Book? Like, what's going on here? Like, he just shows up in random places.
That was probably the weirdest one.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love Sleepy Hollow so much. It was funny. It was randomly brought up, and this has literally never happened to me before. Me and some coworkers at my day job were talking about, you know, horror movies, and out of nowhere, one of my new coworkers was like, he's like, you know what one of my favorite movies is? And I was like, what? He said Sleepy Hollow. Bro, I got so excited. I've never heard anybody else ever even bring that movie up, much less say it's one of their favorites. Because it's one of my favorites too. Like, I feel like it really gets sat on. Like, it's almost everyone either knows about it or has seen it at some point. But like you said, people kind of forget about it. You know, it's the Headless Horseman. I mean, it's a very
just,
generic.
I feel like out of like all the like Halloween type movies or like horror movies I've watched, it's probably one of the more like forgettable ones, but like I enjoyed it still, you know?
Yeah. All right. Now, that being said, we're going to get into some of the fun facts of the movies, which I think I'm going to start doing in general now because I've been doing it for every movie so far, and might as well just keep it going. So, some of the fun facts about the movie. I appreciate that movie so much. I started to appreciate that movie so much more as I got older because I saw the behind the scenes stuff, and the fact that every single head was made and every single piece of hair was put in individually made it so much more realistic, and the fact that like they put that much work into that movie was insane to me. Like it was primarily all practical effects, obviously minus the headless part. That was Ray Park, Darth Maul as the Headless Horseman doing all the fighting scenes, and he had a blue head on. But everything was like practical. It was all like fight choreography. Johnny Depp being dragged by the coach was him wearing a bulletproof vest and actually being carried on the ground. Like there was so many cool things behind the scenes for that movie that just made it even more epic.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell it was like everybody was kind of like enjoying their time and thought it was like a good time in general. It was just, yeah, it just wasn't for me, I think. It just wasn't my
That's
vibe.
fair. But
Kinda,
we got you a 6 out of 10?
I think the way I feel about Sleepy Hollow is the way you felt about The Wind Rises. Like, you can acknowledge that, like, Wind Rises is a good story.
Yeah.
But it's, like, it's just not for you.
That's fair. That's fair. No, I can give it that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that one I'm not too upset about, especially since it's a very basic story. It's nothing crazy. It's not a crazy.
Yeah.
I literally watch it. I mean, like I said, it has a special place in my heart because my first horror movie as a kid, and it's my fall movie. It's like how everyone has their Christmas movie. That's my fall movie.
Yeah, and then the twist at the end of like who was really like controlling the horsemen.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I kind of saw it coming. Kind of didn't.
Oh, I
but
didn't. I did not.
And I was like, did I care though? And I was like, not really. I was like,
that's
cool.
fair.
I was like, okay, I guess that happened.
That's fair. I think one of the best things too, and it's actually a figure I've been after. It's probably the figure I've been after the longest. Is the Headless Horseman. So McFarlane Toys, which is who I buy all my Superman figures from, like all of them are from McFarlane Toys.
Yeah.
They were around in the 90s doing Spawn and all these other movies, and they had the Sleepy Hollow run, and they have 2 Headless Horseman figures, and I've never had it. And the main reason is like the design for his costume is probably one of my favorite villain designs in any movie. Like just the way it looks is so badass. Like I just like looking at him. The cape was cool. The outfit was awesome. Like he was a badass character for, you know, the Headless Horseman, who again is as generic as it gets. You know, everyone knows the Headless Horseman. The basic guy.
Horseman's even in friggin' Disneyland. It's like he's that.
Oh my god, dude! All right, so fun story. When I was a kid, I had already seen Sleepy Hollow, and we went to Disney's Not So Scary Halloween, like very shortly after
in
that
Disney
time.
World or Disneyland?
Disney World. Sorry, and so during the start of the parade for Mickey's Not So Scary, the Headless Horseman runs through to start the parade. When I saw that, dude, I got so excited. I was like, "Oh my god, my hero! Like, what is happening right now? This man is like." I thought it for a split second. I'm like, "This man's real. This is a real thing. It's horrifying. Like my nightmares are real, but oh my god, there he is!" And every year, that was the only part. Even to this day, if I ever go to Mickey's Not So Scary, that's the part I look forward to the most because that was such. It caught me so off guard that the Headless Horseman just rode right through, and it made me so happy. Love that stuff.
I bet.
Yeah. But, alright, that's fine. So, we got that one out of the way. That was a pretty basic one. Little calm before the storm here. And by that, I mean Evil Dead Rise.
Alright, let me give a little precursor to this. I'll explain this one. So, Evil Dead, in my opinion, is like one of the movie franchises that I'm like, I don't want to touch with a yard-long stick, you know? Because I don't like horror movies, and it looks really scary. And then one thing I'll say about the movie is like, I found it just, I don't know how to describe it. It wasn't that like I just found it over the top creepy, which made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't really feel scared. Like, I was nervous going into it. I was really nervous. And then, like, I think I was more disgusted by the movie than anything. Like, genuinely, at a couple points, I almost puked. I had to turn away from the screen. And I know it's all fake and stuff, but it was genuinely so gross that, like, I was like, ugh. And I honestly would rather watch Thanksgiving than Evil Dead Rise again.
Which is insane to me.
Evil Dead Rise wasn't even, like, a super duper scary movie, right? I just genuinely, like, did not have a fun time with it. Like, I wanted it to end because I was just like, this is so gross and it's not even enjoyable. It was just like, I want it to end.
Say something that's really interesting for me is because, you know, like I said, I've grown up with horror movies. Like, it's one of my favorite genres, if not my favorite, actually. If I really thought about it, but I am so desensitized to the things like that. Like, don't get me wrong. The things that you were grossed out at, they're gross, right? But, like, in comparison to some of the other movies I've seen, like Green Inferno, Hostel, Terrifier, just to name a couple, like those movies gross me out. And those are like the extreme. Evil Dead Rise, I mean, in terms of extreme, I'm going to probably put it at like maybe a 7 to an 8 out of 10.
Oh, sorry, I to interrupt. I remembered what grossed me out, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah. So, like, I saw that movie in theaters, and I remember, like, I was into it. I was excited. I was enjoying the whole movie. It's a gore fest, right? So, to hear someone, and a lot of my other friends, and, you know, my brother especially, like, we just watched that movie recently, but we all loved that movie. So, to actually hear the other side of it, to someone who doesn't like horror, who actually watched the movie and has this reaction to it, it's interesting to me because, like, you're having the same thoughts and reactions, but in the negative way that I had them in a positive way.
It was just like, I genuinely didn't even have a good time watching it. At one point in the movie, I started counting down the minutes to when it ended,
which is crazy. I remember when the ending came, I wanted more. Like, when they became at the very end, when they joined into that one like blob thing, I was like, I want more of that. I want to see it. I was mad when it died because I wanted to see it more.
Well, they left it out for a sequel, it seems, in the end, because the beginning was the start of something else.
Yeah.
Which didn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I was like, I get you need to show where it came from, but, like, I was really, like, confused on why they had to do that for the sequel. It was just a weird way to lead it to
I don't know if it sets up for... I mean, obviously, all horror movies set themselves up for a sequel. Like, you can... Like, I don't know if you know any of the story with Evil Dead Rise, but time travel gets involved. It's crazy. Evil Dead in general. The Evil Dead franchise isn't that extensive. It's Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness, and then...
Actually, you know what's funny? I have a weird story about Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So, I've seen clips from those before. And the only reason why I have is because when I was a freshman in high school... I didn't have a lot of friends. I was only friends with my English teacher. And during lunch, I'd go sit in his room, and he would watch bodybuilder videos. And then eventually, one day he asked me, he was like, "Do you know who Bruce Campbell is?" And I was like, no. And then I recognized him, obviously, from Spider-Man once he showed me clips. So we would watch Army of Darkness and Ash vs. Evil Dead clips for a few days. And then also Arnold Schwarzenegger clips. And
that's fair.
So I've seen clips of Army of Darkness and stuff like that. And that was like
that
one of
movie
his favorite
is so
movies.
bad.
So he loved Army of Darkness. He thought it was like one of his favorite movies ever.
Oh, so many people love it. I have talked with so many people that grew up with that movie and they love it. Evil Dead is probably the most ridiculous franchise because the first movie that came out is basically a standalone, right? It's beginning, end, whatever. The second movie is a soft reboot for some reason. I don't know why. And then at the end of the movie, like this giant portal opens and they get whisked away to, where like the past, where Army of Darkness takes place. And then the Army of Darkness is just the third movie. And dude, I couldn't. I had to like come back to Army of Darkness more than once. It's such a bad movie, but everyone loves it. Everyone loves it, and that's why I kept trying to like finish it, because I'm like I must be missing something, and I wasn't. It's just bad. And then they did the reboot of Evil Dead in like 2011 ? I'm not sure. Which is what led into Ash vs. Evil Dead, which was equally ridiculous but fun. And so there really hasn't been many Evil Dead movies, and they never go anywhere. So like Evil Dead Rise is kind of like its own self-contained thing. Like it's nothing. It doesn't connect to the other movies in any way, shape, or form.
What's it called? I didn't care for any of the characters whatsoever in the movie, and very much like a lot of the kills just grossed me out. And there's two moments where I almost puked. I'll tell you them right now. The first one, yeah, the eyeball. The eyeball part when she spits out the eyeball and shoots it into the other guy's mouth and he swallowed it. I almost puked. I thought that was the most disgusting thing ever. I could not believe that happened. I was so close to puking. And then the next time I was close to puking was when she has like the worms coming out of her mouth. And then like she's eating the glass and she's like, I have to like kill all the worms in my tummy. And I'm like, oh, I was freaking out. I was like, that's disgusting.
Not gonna lie though, this is kind of the reaction I wanted. Like, this is what's making the Halloween episodes fun.
I was just genuinely like, I didn't enjoy it. Like, I was like, it was so bad. There was so many character choices where I'm like, of course, this is a horror movie, but man, these people are stupid. Like, this kid's like, oh yeah, I found this creepy book with teeth. I'm gonna open it and look at it. And then I'm gonna play this creepy disc that goes with it. And it's like, what are you... Dude.
Horror movie logic, you can't look into it.
It was just so dumb. I'm like, this kid's an idiot. It's like, he plays Kobe, my goat, in One Piece, but he's the biggest idiot ever in this movie.
Hey, it's a kid making a dumb decision, right? It's worse as they get older. Like, if it's the adults that make... Like, Evil Dead, right? That's literally what happens. They're in the cabin, and they find the Necronomicon in the basement. And they're like, don't read from this book of flesh and blood. Because that's what it is. The book is literally bound in human flesh and written in blood. And they're like, oh, this is a good idea. Let's read it. Like, so in the original movies, you get like, yeah, you're an idiot because you're an adult and you're being stupid. At least it was like a 13-year-old kid who's like, oh, I'm edgy as fuck. Let's do it. And so like, in terms of horror movie logic, at least that one you can blame on him being a stupid kid.
Yeah, it's just... I genuinely was just not enjoying my time during that movie. At least... So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you the rating after I explain a bit. Thanksgiving, I at least had a decent time with. I found myself laughing and enjoying the craziness at times.
Right.
Evil Dead Rise, I did not like whatsoever. I didn't laugh. I was just like extremely uncomfortable the whole movie and didn't like any of the kills. I thought it was disgusting. I just wanted the movie to end. It was not a fun time. I don't think you could pay me to watch that again. It wasn't even scary. It was just disgusting. I would probably give it a 2 out of 10.
I was expecting a 1, not gonna lie.
The only reason why I haven't said a 1, I've never given a 1 to anything. Only one thing I've given a 2 to in my entire life. You know what that is?
What?
Morbius.
Okay, well, that's just wrong.
Morbius was awful. I hated it, and I hated it
But
just
not
as
a
much as I hated
2.
this. It's a 2.
It's not a 2. We got okay. Sidebar, real quick. I got some feedback from one of our listeners about our rating scales.
Oh boy.
In terms of yours being awful.
What? What?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. But brings us to this part of the conversation. I think we should figure out what our universal ratings are going to be. So something that fits both of ours. So I was thinking either we do classic 5 stars, or if you want to adopt some if you want to do the out of 10, or if you want to do out of 7, so there's a mid. I don't know.
What's a classic like bar staple of a drink?
I don't know. We could do it in shots.
Ooh, what if we did like? You know what? For some reason, my brain just thought of like, what if we did like a shot system where it's like, the worse the movie is, the more shots you need. So it's like 5 shots to actually enjoy the movie. That means it's an awful movie. And
I don't hate that. I don't hate that.
Like 0 shots is like it's a perfect movie.
Yeah, like you know what? Sure, let's do it. I'm for it.
We'll think it over a little bit more, but like
I don't know. I don't hate that idea. Like, you know, I have to get blackout to enjoy this movie. Yeah, that's fair. I don't hate that. But point is, I think us having 2 different rating scales, because you said 2 out of 10 is, I know to you is a 20%. To me, I guess honestly, the lower end of the out of 10 we're kind of the same on. It's just when you get like above 5, where you and I are very different, because you know,
I would
5 is mid to me.
Let's do like just 5 stars maybe, or I don't know, because like I feel like saying 0 shots out of 5 or something like that is like confusing. So
it can be.
Maybe just like 5 stars we can do. So it's just
all
easy
right.
and simple. So
disregard all the ideas we just had. 5 stars.
Yeah, 5. We're just gonna do stars. So if I had to give, okay, so I'm gonna go back through the movies we've done this past month. If I were to review Sleepy Hollow,
Well, Thanksgiving first.
Okay, Thanksgiving first. Thanksgiving, I would give 2 stars.
Okay.
And then Sleepy Hollow, I'd probably give like 2.5. And then Evil Dead Rise, probably like half a star. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Actually, no, wait. 1 star.
You know what? Okay, here I think I'm gonna call it 1 star as wasted. The movie's wasted.
Movie's wasted. Yes.
Yep. If it's a 1, it's wasted. I'm all for that. That's
if it's a 5, it's I
think we could just do perfect on that one.
Yeah, just perfect.
Perfect movie. Or 5 is Oscar gold, 1 is wasted.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. I'll take it. That's fine. I can respect it. I'm going to be honest. This one did not surprise me in the slightest. I didn't think you would... Again, this is what I was talking about, it being interesting. I didn't actually think you were going to get grossed out. I thought you'd be more creeped out than anything. Because I didn't view it as gross like that. Like, obviously, yeah, there's some, like, scenes in the movie. But I genuinely didn't even go for, like, the try to, you know, make you queasy at all. Was not my intention. It was more just to get you scared.
I don't even understand the like appeal to movies like this. Like that's just not me.
It's just a gore fest, man. People love over the top gore because it's so unrealistic. That's the thing. I mean,
I like Deadpool and like how gory that gets. Like the first one was absolutely insane how gory it was at times.
See, but that's not gory, really.
You can see you watch a guy get splattered against a street sign in the first movie. What do you mean?
Okay,
Second
yeah,
one, you see Deadpool get ripped in half, his intestines spill out. That's gory.
I don't know. I mean, it's more, I guess, yeah, graphic violence, I guess. But like in terms of, like, I think horror gore and like action gore are different. Like,
yeah,
but I get what you're saying. So yeah, you're not wrong. But like for me, when for gory, like right now, the new gore standard is Terrifier 3. It didn't make me queasy, didn't make me want to throw up. I did go have lunch right after the movie, so I was fine. However, there were some scenes where I was like, oh boy. Like, I was cringing in my seat a little bit. It was brutal. For a movie to get me to do that, it takes a lot.
I probably might throw up if I watched Terrifier then.
Oh, if Evil Dead Rise... Okay, Terrifier right now is a 9 in terms of gore out of 10. Right? Terrifier 3. And Terrifier 2, I'm going to give an 8.5 out of 10 in terms of gore. Okay? I'm going to give Evil Dead Rise a 7 on the gore scale in comparison to those movies. So, take that with the grade. It's so bad, especially now, knowing how you reacted to Evil Dead Rise. For the foreseeable future, will never recommend Terrifier to you for a Halloween episode. Unless if, like, down the line, you're, like, accustomed to it and you're open to giving it a shot, maybe. But if, as it stands right now, I'm not giving it to you. Because my plan isn't actually to make you sick. It's just to scare you. So,
like, Evil Dead Rise didn't scare me. It was just, like, the kills grossed me out. I was like, ugh, ugh, ugh. Like, that's all I really did. I made, like, those noises, like, the whole movie. Like, I didn't get jump scared, like, nothing like that. I wasn't really on the edge of my seat. Kind of like when scary things were supposed to happen, it was really predictable. And then, like, one thing I thought was funny about the movie, though, was, like, it was immediately predictable how, like, the spirit or whatever was going to die in the end. Because the first 2 minutes you see the apartment building, they show the wood chipper. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's how it dies. Because I'm like, why else would there be a wood chipper in the middle of an apartment building in the middle of a city in LA? Like,
one thing you'll learn about horror movies is they foreshadow everything. Like, it's almost, at some point, it's like a Where's Waldo. Like, you try to figure out what the foreshadowing is from the very beginning. Like you said, in this case, the wood chipper that's right there, you know?
Yep. It's like, I'm going to spoil one of my parents' favorite movies ever. My parents love the movie A Star Is Born. And I didn't watch it for the longest time. I wasn't a huge fan of it, personally. But I remember sitting there and watching it with my parents when they finally got me to watch it. First 5 minutes of the movie, you see the main character, the guy, he's drunk in a limo, and as he's driving in the limo, there's a noose on a billboard behind him. And I immediately look at my parents and I go, does he hang himself in the end? And then my parents are like, wait, what? I'm like...
To be honest, I never caught that.
Yeah, no, and then what's it called? I know foreshadowing when I see it every time. And my parents go like, what do you mean? Like, no, why would you think that? And then the end happens and I'm like, told you. They're like, how'd you guess that? And I'm like, he's drunk, depressed in the back of a limo and there's a noose in the background. What else do you think? What billboard just randomly has a noose?
To be honest, I didn't catch that. I kind of want to go rewatch the beginning just to see that scene. You know, what's funny about A Star Is Born is, like, it's a remake of a remake. And when this one came out, it had its own set of controversy, because in the other one, he doesn't kill himself. He dies in a car accident on the way there. So, like, in this one, when he kills himself, it pissed off so many people. Personally, I like that one better. I think it's more emotional with him killing himself. But
I haven't watched the originals, so I didn't have an opinion on it.
I will say the original one still bothers me to this day because it was supposed to have Elvis in it.
Oh.
Yeah, but it didn't. I would have loved it if Elvis... Dude, I freaking love Elvis.
Who doesn't?
People that are wrong.
Yep.
That's what we gotta talk about one day, is the Elvis movie. Such a great movie.
I love that movie.
I thought you were about to say, not gonna lie, I thought you were about to say you've never seen it. I was about to...
That's kind of to be expected from me at this point. Like, I don't blame you for that one. Like, yeah, I don't blame you for that one. Because there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, so...
And that's what we're slowly but surely fixing right now.
And what's next week's movie now?
Okay, so I was actually looking at the calendar. I think we actually need to put one more movie in there. However,
We could just release our episode early on Thursday on Halloween.
Well, no. Okay, so we have this episode. Hold on. This episode comes out on Friday the 18th.
Yes.
And then we need one that comes out on the 25th, and then one that comes out on the 31st, which is Thursday.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna take you back a little bit. I'm gonna keep you mild, no gore whatsoever. A movie that actually did scare me when I was younger, but it's not a horror movie like that. It's more psychological. It's based on a Stephen King short film. We're gonna go 1408.
Let me look this up. Psychological scares me.
So while you're looking it up, let me give you a very brief synopsis. So the movie's with John Cusack and Sam Jackson. Sam Jackson's barely in it. John Cusack's character, he is an author, and what he does is he goes to haunted hotel rooms around the country, and he writes about how he debunks, basically. He writes about how they're not haunted, and what it is that makes them haunted, blah 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 blah, like why people think they are. So he debunks things. He catches wind of room 1408 in the Dolphin Hotel in New York City, and a very basic plot. He goes to check in. Sam Jackson's the hotel owner. He tries to convince him to not take that room, and he does it anyway. And then shit goes south. But it's not a type of horror movie that I actually think you might enjoy this one, because it's a deeper movie than it lets on. There's some creepy elements. It's a haunted hotel room. It really touches on the whole like fear of isolation a little bit, especially towards the end. So I'm gonna go with that one. That's probably one of my all-time favorite. Like, the movie for the 1408, that number is literally used in everything that I have. It's my pin number at AMC Theaters. It's in my email address. It's the pin to my phone. Congratulations, you know what that is now. It's everything. So I'm gonna go with 1408 this week.
Okay. I'm looking at pictures of it. It looks interesting.
I think I'm going to be honest with you. I think out of all the ones this month, I think you might like this one the most, because there is good character development. There's an actual story that you follow, that you're invested in, and then the things that happen in the room. You know, it's kind of like, oh, what's going to happen next? How's you going to get out of this? So I think you'll actually like this one a little bit more.
Okay. All right.
See, not horrible.
Yeah.
I'm being nice.
Yeah. It's a much better recommendation than Evil Dead. Kill myself, because that was awful. That was
bad.
I hated that movie so much. Just every second of it. I literally was every 5 minutes being checking to see what time the credits started, and then where I was at in the movie, and then being like, okay, there's 20 minutes left, there's 10 minutes left, and 5 minutes left.
I literally can't wait till we start posting these clips on Instagram and social media, because I want to try to get people to comment their opinions on it, because I do want to hear what other people think as well, you know.
Yeah.
My brother listens, and he was texting me. Also, he was a little heated that I didn't. Okay, because last time we were talking about Borderlands.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned my best friend Jordan, me watching it with him, and he was like, he texted me, he's like, why don't you watch it with me? I have opinions. I'm like, uh-huh. And I'm like, yeah, man, let's do it. So,
well,
yeah.
Anthony's brother, if you're listening, you might have some words to speak with Anthony after this episode.
Probably. But he also liked Evil Dead Rise, a lot. So
I thought it was no.
We literally watched
it was the worst
Monday.
theater experience I've had, but not theater, but movie experience I've had. But it's one of them.
I keep saying that's insane. Yes, I'm not surprised at your reaction in the slightest. Not surprising to me at all.
You know what's genuinely I know it was a horrible movie, but I've watched several times because I actually like it, and it's even though it's a horror-esque movie, is the freaking Five Nights at Freddy's movie. The Five Nights at Freddy's movie, I think, is far and beyond not a good movie, but I think it's far and beyond better than Evil Dead Rise.
That's batshit crazy thing to say.
Yep.
Like, okay, I like Five Nights at Freddy's. That movie's fun. It's a fun movie, and I love the game. I played all the games, so like almost all the games. Let me specify. So yeah, I thought it was fun. I'm looking forward to the next one. In no universe is that movie better than Evil Dead Rise, in my opinion.
I would 100% rather watch Five Nights at Freddy's over and over again because I actually enjoy that movie than Evil Dead Rise. I think Five Nights at Freddy's is, I don't know, I just think it's way and beyond, like, just a way more fun time to watch.
Yeah.
I can hear the face palming.
I don't know what to say to that specifically because we have very varying opinions on this, and like I said, I understand it. It's difficult for me to understand someone not liking Evil Dead or horror movies in general. My brain is not getting it for some reason.
Like I've talked about this several times. Hereditary, right? But
Right.
Here's the thing. Hereditary I would say, was a good movie because it got its point across and did it well. It was a good story. It was scary. The kills were crazy. All those types of things. Right? It was a good, like, that's my standard for, like, a good horror movie.
Right.
Evil Dead Rise wasn't even close to that. I just didn't enjoy my time whatsoever.
Yeah.
That
Okay.
didn't sound like you really agree.
It's difficult because like I understand what you're saying. Like yeah, there really isn't a story. Like there is a story, yes. Like there's there's characters. They have there's background things going on, and then the movie happens. But it's the type of movie that's literally meant to just be.
Oh, one thing I was messaging you as this happened. One thing that annoyed me about the movie is that they literally just made the main character pregnant just so they could do that one scene where the spirit's threatening to tear out the baby. That's the only reason why it's pregnant. Or that she's pregnant in the movie. It was just like, oh my gosh. Just that one kill alone.
Funny you say that because like her being pregnant in the movie, because it happens a lot in horror movies. And that was the first movie I thought of when I saw Alien Romulus, because at the beginning of that movie, they mentioned how she's pregnant.
Yeah.
And so, like, when I saw that, I jumped back to Evil Dead Rise. I was like, oh, God, here we go.
It's so funny you said that, too, because I thought of Alien Romulus when I watched Evil Dead Rise, and sitting there like, oh, no. And then when it got to the scene where she's sticking her fingers on her stomach, I was messaging you, I was like, dude, if they have this spirit rip out that fetus in this movie, I will turn this movie off. Like, I would turn it off.
See, then you definitely shouldn't watch Human Centipede 2. That
one I know what it's about. I'm not watching that.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. That one I can't even recommend to anybody. Like, when someone says, and this has actually happened one time in my life, where someone was like, give me the most fucked up movie you could think of, and Human Centipede popped up. And it's not, I don't even know if it's the most messed up movie I could think of, but it's definitely one that comes to mind first. And it's not one I can watch again. Like, you want to talk about squeamish? That one turned my stomach. The first one. The second one is worse. The third one is unbelievably bad, both in terms of acting and in terms of the content. All I'm going to say is, you know what Human Centipede is. It's in the title. So the first one is 3 people. The second one is like 8 or whatever. And then the third one is an entire prison.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, you're telling me. So like, I was like, oh my God. Why did I watch it? Strictly to say I've seen it. And I'm never going to watch it again.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh yeah, I know. You're fine on that one.
Yep. I could have been fine on Evil Dead Rise too, but now I've sat through that atrocity and I absolutely hated every second of it.
But now you could say you've seen it.
Sadly. I could have lived happily without seeing that movie.
Hey, listen. in the last this last month, you've seen 3 brand new horror movies that you've never seen before. We're expanding your catalog. It's great. We're having fun. And you're about to do 4. And then we have Halloween on Halloween. And you're going to love Halloween.
I probably will like Halloween.
Halloween is gimmicky. So like you get to see like it's cuz obviously it's had so much influence on pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll get to really see where it all began kind of. And I think that's what's going to make it more of a fun time to watch. Definitely nowhere near as gory. There's barely any blood in the first Halloween movie. It's, I mean, there's some naked women, but that's fine.
Yo, why are you showing me that, man? That's wild.
I mean, 80s horror,
I guess so.
It's not the worst one.
Also, another movie that I set my standards with horror. There's a few actually. It's Hereditary. And then The Shining. The Shining, it didn't scare me necessarily, but it had those elements of horror and also was still really good story and actually fun to watch. And then Dr. Sleep. I know that's not really a horror movie, but like it was really good watch and really spooky too.
So I keep forgetting you like The Shining. I think if you like the idea of The Shining and the psychological twist it take in that movie, I think you're definitely like 1408 then. They're not in any way, shape, or form similar. I can't speak today. In any way, shape, or form similar to each other, but outside the hotel room situation. However, it plays on the same like emotions in the sense of like it's a good unsettling feeling. Like there's a sense of mystery. There's like what's going on, what's happening. Like it's. For me, The Shining made me feel like a little bit on the uncomfortable side, and not in a bad way, just like you putting yourself in that situation. You're out there all alone, abandoned, and you're trying to survive. Same thing with 1408.
Yeah. It's very similar. I could see that. Yeah, I don't know. It was just... I'll say this one. I've said this once. I'll say it a million times. Horror movies aren't my thing. I cannot wait until November, when we finally get to move on from horror, and we'll watch different movies.
So I actually had a question for you about November, because I was gonna... The recommendation I was thinking of, I wasn't gonna just go with it. I wanted to kind of get your input on it. I was gonna... Because, like, there's not very many Thanksgiving movies, and honestly, if we didn't do Sleepy Hollow in October, I would have done it in November.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking, so like Nightmare Before Christmas.
I've seen it, but it's been a really long time. I know like about 75% of that movie because I've just seen so many clips over the years and I just recognize them.
Yeah.
So we probably could skip that one because I've seen.
But I was more or less thinking like Tim Burton movies. So like, have you seen Edward Scissorhands?
No.
Crazy to me. I think that's another Johnny Depp one.
Yeah.
That one. Oh, so good. That one is, I'll probably do towards the end of November because that one is, like, I want opinions. I think it's a Christmas movie. It goes back and forth. I think it is. So we have that.
You know what we could watch? We could.
Huh.
This is just a funny suggestion. I argue with this with my family every year.
If you say the Muppets, I'm gonna fight you.
No. So, every year I argue with my family. I'm like, I'm going to watch Spider-Man on the TV. Join me if you want. They're like, why are you watching Spider-Man on Thanksgiving? I'm like, it's a Thanksgiving movie. They're like, how is it a Thanksgiving movie?
Scene?
Yes. Look, man. People all the time are like, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. It takes place during Christmas, and there's Christmas stuff in it.
The entire movie's Christmas.
No, it's not. It's an action movie. Spider-Man
What are you
is an
talking
action
about?
movie about superheroes. Thanksgiving takes place during Spider-Man, so it's a Thanksgiving movie.
Okay, first of all, Thanksgiving is one of the days that happen real quick in Spider-Man. It does not revolve around the Thanksgiving holiday. The entire plot. Oh, you got me heated just now. The entire plot to Die Hard is. No. You spoke. I speak. The entire plot to Die Hard is he is there for a Christmas party. He flew
Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie.
It is not. He flew into town for a Christmas party. He was upstairs. They are downstairs celebrating Christmas. It is a whole Christmas thing. It is Christmas.
The major turning point of the plot of Spider-Man takes place during the Thanksgiving dinner when Peters bleeds and the Green Goblin realizes, oh, that's Spider-Man. That's where I cut him earlier today. And that's literally the turning point.
So sorry. Green Goblin discovered that he was Spider-Man on Thanksgiving in like the shortest scene of the movie. After that...
Also the most iconic. He had to beat an old lady with a stick to get the turkey.
He didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that, though. it wasn't the turkey. It was... Oh, was it the cranberry sauce?
Oh, yeah, cranberry sauce, yeah.
The cranberry sauce? Ooh.
But I watch it every year on Thanksgiving.
People that tell me that Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, I immediately want to strangle. Okay, I have a checkmate argument right here. It was... You know how Walmart releases the DVDs again? Like, and they do like the holiday themes or whatever?
Anything. Walmart.
Oh, it does. It does. It does,
really
though. Because I have... No. I have a copy of Die Hard.
Decide what is a Christmas movie?
I have a copy of Die Hard on DVD that is a Christmas cover. Because it is, and I quote, a Christmas movie. And now, hold on. Before you or anybody else claps back with, well, Bruce Willis said during the roast that it's not a Christmas movie. Yeah, well, he has Alzheimer's, so what does he know? Listen, it's a Christmas movie.
Bro. Wow. Look, man, I'm just saying this right now. I'm trying to think. Man, no. Spider-Man is as much of a Thanksgiving movie as Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
I really enjoyed filming this podcast with you, and I'm sad that this is our last episode, but if that's the way it has to be.
I feel like that is said by somebody in every single episode. it's either you or me.
I feel like the gimmick now has to be, at some point, who's going to quit the podcast that week?
This week every time somebody says they're going to quit the podcast.
Oh my god, I can't. No, we Instagram poll this shit. Put an Instagram poll up right after we release this episode. Is Spider-Man a Thanksgiving movie?
Yes,
and I will share it. No, it's not. I didn't say you tell me. I need the people to tell me.
The people, listen to me. Listen to me.
The people like me more.
Introduces every episode.
People like me more.
Thanksgiving episode. What do you mean people like you more, huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean, because they like my rating system better. Boom, there I said it.
Okay, one guy who was your close best friend or your brother that told you.
It was my brother.
Yeah, your brother who told you. He's your family. Of course he's going to say your rating system's better.
Yeah, but we often hate each other, so it's kind of null and void whose side he's on.
That's every brother.
That's not the point. Gosh. You know what I consider a Thanksgiving movie?
What?
Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. We should totally watch that one week.
No, that's totally not a Thanksgiving movie. No, of course it's a Thanksgiving movie.
I'm going to throw so many things at you next time I see you. Like, why did you throw popcorn at that guest? Oh, you just had to be there. Listen to the episode. You'll know why. Ooh.
Look, man, look.
You know who knows? You know who knows? Hold on. Let's see. Is Die Hard... Hold on. Christmas... Not Christian. Not a Christian movie.
I'm looking at this right now. All right. I looked it up.
Hold on. No. It knows all. I asked ChatGPT. Its answer. Ready? I'm going to read this. The question of whether Die Hard is a Christmas movie has been a long-standing debate, and it really depends on how you define a Christmas movie. Here are both sides of the argument. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Christmas setting, Christmas themes, redemption and family, holiday spirit. And then the argument that says no, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie is action first, lack of traditional Christmas focus, could happen any time of year, true, And that's it. So there are 3 points against it being Christmas, and then 4 in favor of it being Christmas. That is a winning argument. It's a Christmas movie.
All right. Well, here's my argument about Spider-Man being a Thanksgiving movie. TV Insider Online says, fueled by its sincerity and a seasonal backdrop, which may have seemed out of place at its May 2002 release, the movie channels the spirit of Thanksgiving, embodying the themes of faith, goodwill, and unity through its duration. It's just a perfect viewing for Turkey Day.
So no actual reason as to why it's a Thanksgiving movie.
And then also, on Reddit user 27.5 Pancakes,
Spider-Man
Reddit. 2002
okay.
is a Thanksgiving movie. It is a Thanksgiving dinner scene that is crucial to the plot and is about Peter Parker learning to be thankful for what he has. Exactly. It is a major plot point in the movie that Thanksgiving happens. Without that Thanksgiving dinner, the plot would not have progressed.
Hold on. You're telling me that the entire Spider-Man movie could not have happened if they did not have dinner?
The ending, it could have just stopped. The Green Goblin may have never known who Spider-Man was. He may have just gone without his day and given up.
You think the Green Goblin would have given up? He knocked Spider-Man out 5 minutes before that happened. It was like, I'm gonna let you go this time, but decide to join me because people hate you sometimes. And yeah, you telling me he couldn't do that again?
Maybe he gave up. Maybe he was just like, okay, he don't want to be homies. I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna go to New Jersey and terrorize them.
Okay, hold on. So, I did the same thing. I'm gonna keep it fair, right? Did the same thing for ChatGPT. Is Spider-Man a Thanksgiving movie? Here's what it says. Well, Spider-Man 2002, directed by Sam Raimi, is not typically considered a Thanksgiving movie. Excuse me. It does contain a memorable Thanksgiving scene. The scene occurs when Peter Parker, Norman Osborn, and their families gather for a Thanksgiving meal. Whoop-de-doo. Anyway, here's why some people might see Spider-Man as having Thanksgiving vibes. It's not even a Thanksgiving movie, Thanksgiving vibes. It has a Thanksgiving dinner scene, family dynamics, and holiday atmosphere. However, Thanksgiving is not the central plot, and it's only a brief part of the film, as with ChatGPT. I'm gonna read it. I'll keep it fair. I'll reread that. However, Thanksgiving is not central to the plot. It's only a brief part of the film, as with Die Hard and Christmas. It's a bit of a stretch to call Spider-Man a Thanksgiving movie. Hold on. It's a bit of a stretch to call Spider-Man a Thanksgiving movie, but the holiday plays a minor role in shaping the story. If you're looking for a superhero movie to watch around Thanksgiving, this one has a bit of holiday flavor. I will do this for you right now, because I can agree to that. If you will admit that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I'll admit Spider-Man's a Thanksgiving movie.
Do I choose violence or do I choose unity? That's the real question here.
It is the real question, and now the ball's in your court.
Repeat the question.
Will you, if you admit that Die Hard is a Christmas movie, I will admit that Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie. We're waiting.
You know, Anthony, I'm debating on this way too hard.
Here's the thing. Hold on. While you keep thinking, listen. If you answer this, then I will watch Spider-Man for you in the month of November. Hell, it could be the Thanksgiving episode if you want. But we will be watching Die Hard for Christmas. So right here, right now, who wins this argument?
You and your opinions on Die Hard being a Christmas movie can go to hell. Because we're not watching Die Hard on Christmas. We're watching Muppet Christmas Carol on Christmas.
Muppet Christmas Carol on Christmas as well. But if you're not saying that Die Hard's a Christmas movie, then you're also... Nope, then Spider-Man's not a Thanksgiving movie.
This is ridiculous, man. This is absolutely ridiculous.
You hate this. You hate this because I have you now.
No, I don't need people to conform to my right opinions. I don't need people to conform my right opinions. Your opinions are just wrong. That's all it is.
Nope, I won this. This is a checkmate for Anthony.
Nope, no, you do not. No, you did not. This is not
I won.
a win. Mm-mm.
I won this. I think I like this turnout a lot better, not gonna lie.
No.
Yeah.
This is... Look, Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie, and you know it. You just don't want to admit that I'm right.
You can't even admit that Die Hard's a Christmas... Because I will gladly admit that Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie if you meet me halfway. I will say it right here, right now. But you see, here's the thing. I'm winning. And either way, I win right now.
Fine. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. And you want to know why I say that? You want to know why? Do you want to know why I say that, Anthony?
Go ahead.
I haven't seen it.
That... We're watching it for Christmas.
I did this whole argument about Die Hard not being a Christmas movie, and I haven't even seen it. Just to make you mad.
I hate you and your future spawn so much. I can't even get mad because that was kind of genius what you just did, and now it's flipped on me. And you know what? I can respect it. I can respect what just happened, but you've also ensured that we're watching Die Hard on Christmas.
Okay.
Maybe not. It doesn't have to be the Christmas episode, but it's definitely for the month of December.
Well, you're watching A Muppet Christmas Carol. Have you seen that?
Yeah, it's great. I've seen every version of A Christmas Carol, bro. What?
I didn't. Some people haven't. You know. It's my family tradition.
Also,
I watch it every year on Christmas.
It's great. No, it's awesome. My is that your actual Christmas tradition, like on Christmas Day?
I watch it on Christmas Eve before I go to bed.
So my Christmas Day tradition is It's a Wonderful Life. I love that movie so much.
I think Christmas Day I don't really have any movie traditions. I think it's Christmas Eve I do the movies.
So
yeah.
It's a Wonderful Life became a Christmas Day tradition for me because I saw that movie as a kid, or maybe like 10 or 11 years old, right? And it got to a point where on Christmas Day, like any other kid, I always woke up way before my parents. And they did not let me wake them up until, I think it was either 7 or 8 o'clock.
I'm glad we had similar experiences with that.
Yeah, I think everyone did for the most part. And so I had to find a way to entertain myself. So we had a TiVo at the time, so I would DVR It's a Wonderful Life.
Bro, that's a throwback,
right?
Oh my gosh!
So we literally I would watch It's a Wonderful Life, and by the time it was over, because I was usually up around 5:30, by the time it was over, that's when I would go wake everybody up to do Christmas. So like that's kind of how that started for me, and then now it's just become like, I'm excited to watch it on Christmas Day. So that's my Christmas tradition. I love It's a Wonderful Life. The other one I normally I always watch the Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's probably the best one.
No,
I don't watch Muppets every year, but I do watch the Muppets Christmas Carol, and then I also watch Jim Carrey's Christmas Carol.
I wasn't a huge fan of that one for some reason.
I love that. I love the animation more or less in that one, and I love how Jim Carrey plays all the roles. Like that was pretty cool to me. And like the motion capture's awesome in that too.
I love the music in the Muppets one. That's my whole thing.
I think you like the Muppets, because what was that stupid one you tried to get us to watch a couple weeks ago?
I don't think we talked about this on the podcast. There was a night. Okay, so when we were first texting each other and we're like, hey, or I was like, hey, I haven't seen that many movies compared to you. And I was sitting there, I was just like, what if I just made you watch the Muppets movies? And I talked about all the different Muppets, and you were getting like genuinely like mad. You were like tired of me talking about the Muppets. It was so funny because I used to love the Muppets growing up. I still love them.
The Muppets in general. It's this one. What was it? Kermit's Swamp Years.
Oh yeah,
that was
Kermit's Swamp Years. Dude, that movie's goated. It's so good.
No, fuck you. No, it's not. You were over here like I'm pretty sure you had a decent buzz going on, and this motherfucker's just throwing movies at me, and like out of nowhere, out of his left pocket in the pants he hasn't worn in the last 10 years, throws out Kermit's Swamp Years. It's not even it's not even Muppet. It's Kermit's Swamp Years. And the picture, the cover of it is Kermit looking out behind a tree, all creepy like, an alligator in the background, and other Muppets riding a dog because reasons. I don't know what that movie's. No. And at that point, I was like, "Oh my god!" Like, I had started to regret everything decision-wise. I
cannot tell you how many times I watched that movie as a kid. Me and my brother would literally reenact scenes from the movie. We loved it so much.
You know what? I can't give you crap too much though, because when I was a kid, one of my favorite movies was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but it's the one with the toy taker, and that movie's like devastating. For some reason, Jamie Lee Curtis plays a hippo. That doesn't matter. So the toy taker is literally, his whole thing is taking toys from kids because he's trying to prevent the toys from being abandoned. So he's just kidnapping them and then bringing them to a better place. Because eventually kids throw away their toys. And you find out that the toy taker is actually a broken teddy bear that his owner threw away.
Oh, the Island of Misfit Toys one?
Yes. So there's a scene where the toy taker is singing a song to the other toys that are mad that they were taken from their owners. And I knew every word to that song. At like the age of 6 was singing a modus operandi. And I literally would put on like a bunch of blankets, my old Woody hat, and I would sing the song to the movie. And like everyone would gather around to watch me perform this whole thing every time it happened.
I mean, that's not near as weird though. That's just innocent kid stuff. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is not near, and the Island of Misfit Toys is not near as obscure and random as Kermit's Swamp Years.
I know. Mine is a lot more adorable than your whatever the hell that is.
Kermit's Swamp Years is one of the greatest pieces of Muppet fiction to come out. You just don't even know it. It's great.
Okay, first of all, it's Muppet Take Manhattan.
Also, it shows the turning point in human Muppet history where humans finally acknowledge the fact that animals can talk, and it's completely weird.
Is that what it does?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it does. There's a whole scene where Kermit's about to be dissected, and then the doctor hears him talk. And he goes, "Did you just talk?" And it's like, because no human had heard an animal talk before this.
Oh, hold on.
It's a whole turning point in the Muppets lore.
Let me wrap my head. You said lore. That's cool. That's a fun word to say for this. You're telling me that a human thought Kermit was a real frog?
Yes.
And it was going to dissect him?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. Like, I don't know what to do, man.
And then one of his friends is so strong, he gets ran over by a truck, and he survives it. And has tire tracks across his stomach, and he uses the tire tracks to lead him to a town nearby.
That's how tire tracks work.
Yep.
I don't know. I honestly want to pay for some therapy sessions for you, man. I don't know.
I'm already in therapy. There's nothing you can do about that.
Oh, man. Like, that just sounds like Muppet horror film. Jesus.
Okay. Okay. What we need to do is, like, when's your birthday?
It just passed.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Okay. When my birthday comes up, we need to do an episode where we just sit and we talk about Kermit's Swamp Years, because that'll be your watch, and we're gonna watch that together at my apartment.
When's your birthday?
May 26th. You got time.
Fuck. Okay. I was hoping you were gonna say like October 13th. I have to wait a whole year.
Oh. No.
For those of you who are confused, right now in recording this, it's October 14th.
Yeah.
So me saying that was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Now people are caught up. Anyway. God damn. I'm so disappointed right now. Like, I think I know what it's like to be disappointed in a child.
What do you mean?
I don't...
Why are you disappointed? Why?
I don't even know, man. First of all, I was played like 20 minutes ago.
You were played hard.
Yeah.
I've
So-
never seen Die Hard, and you fell right into it. Did you notice how I didn't say a single word to say that it's not? I just said it's not. It's not. That's all I
Hate
really
you.
said.
I hate you, and I'm quitting this week. Anthony's quitting the podcast. So
That's another shot.
enjoy next week's podcast where Drew hosts it by himself. And like, don't get me wrong, I will be here for next episode. I'm just not going to speak to him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, and then I'm gonna say some sort of crazy take like, oh gosh, I'm gonna say something wild. Oh, I'll say that Halloween Ends is better than Halloween, and then you'll be like, what? You'd freak out. That would get you to talk.
No, what's going to happen is I'm going to leave my apartment in the middle of the episode. Like, your sentence, the second you say that, the second the period to that sentence hits my ears, I am going to get out of my apartment, drive to your house, and smack you in the face, and then drive back to finish the episode.
I mean, valid. If I said that, I might have to question that too. But yeah.
Okay, it's okay. With that one, I actually know you would get so many people, like the couple people that do listen right now, would probably like rally behind me, and then just like we'll have like a Simon and Garfunkel where we'll split up.
Yep.
And I'll get everybody, and then you get nobody.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Oh, what an episode this has been. Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, wow. So, I think that's a good time to end it right there.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So, the watch for next week, or this upcoming week, our weekly showing, is a 1408 with Everclear. No, I'm kidding. What should be something we pair with it?
Everclear. That's crazy what you just said.
I know.
So actually, he drinks a lot. I think it's bourbon he drinks in this one, but we can just go with, we can go with the whiskey sour. That's easy enough for right now.
Dude, I will not lie. When I tried to make the maple old fashioned left for Sleepy Hollow,
yeah,
I was like, it was awful. It was so bad. It wasn't because it's a bad recipe. I just don't know how to make drinks well. So it was not good.
Well, guess what's going to happen? Come November time, around that time when you get to your apartment, I'll be able to come over and make the drinks.
That is true.
It'll be great, because I had it, and I'm not going to lie, it was probably my new favorite thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
was really good.
What was really funny, too, is when I went to go get I got Maker's Mark for it, because it was just the cheaper option.
Maker's Mark is good. That's what I used.
I went to the liquor store, and the guy there, he was like, oh, can I help you with anything? I was like, oh, I'm just looking for the whiskey area. And he takes me to the whiskey area, and he starts recommending all these different whiskeys. But then he's like, I don't like whiskey. I think it's gross. This is what I hear is good. And I'm like, wait a second. Why are you recommending me things if you don't like whiskey? Like, I was so confused.
Maker's Mark is really good for an old fashioned. Like I said, I don't know how you made it, but it's usually it's like 2 to 3 dashes of bitters depending on how much you like. Orange zest, simple syrup, and then the whiskey, and then you call it a day. Maraschino cherry. I normally just make it with the simple syrup that I make at home, and the whiskey, and obviously the bitters. But for this one, instead of the simple syrup, I used maple syrup.
Right.
Which, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, I also did use the chocolate bitters though.
Interesting.
It was like a maple because the bitters just give it a hint. It's not like an actual flavor. It's just a hint of chocolate. So you get like you primarily get like the sweetness of the maple syrup, and then you get like hints of chocolate afterwards, which kind of give it almost like chocolate chip pancake type situation. And oh my god, it was so good. I think I might need several after this conversation.
Yeah, I don't blame you. This was a wild episode. We'll see if I can make some clips out of it.
Yeah, I feel like if you do post anything, the caption needs to be Anthony gets played or something, because
oh my god,
and I have to respect it, because that was some like deep mind game crap right there. But whatever.
I totally had you going, but I do genuinely believe Spider-Man is a Thanksgiving movie, and I will watch it every year on Thanksgiving, no matter what.
Fine, you can do that for you
Every
And
year, it is a battle for who gets the TV: the football guys in my family, or me, who stands alone as the Lone Ranger defending Spider-Man as a Thanksgiving movie.
after this, I have no more questions as to why you're the Lone Ranger in this situation. But that being said, I did still agree to it, and I am a man of my word. So we will watch Spider-Man at some point in time in November for one of our Thanksgiving episodes, and Die Hard for the month of December.
People who don't listen to the podcast but look at our posts, they're gonna look at the weekly showing and they'll be like, "Why is Spider-Man a weekly showing for Thanksgiving week?"
It needs to be one of those polls too. Like, do you think Spider-Man's a Christmas or a Thanksgiving movie?
I will. I'll make it.
Yeah.
I'll make it a poll.
Yeah. No, I feel like we need to get some clips from this episode. We're getting to the point now where I think clips are. Especially when we start doing cameras. I can't wait. I can't wait for.
Oh, I have a feeling as soon as we start recording in my apartment together, I have a feeling that you're very much going to be slapping me at some takes.
We're gonna need some gimmicks. I don't know if you've seen Jimmy Fallon where they do a couple some of the games they do, they have giant hands that they used to smack each other with.
Oh yeah.
I think we should just invest in some ginormous foam hands.
I'm just imagining it would it'd just be an intense slapping match.
Yeah. No, I have some ideas when we start recording together. I wanted to start doing some games and things like that. To get, involvement.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I already have a few ideas, so.
My apartment, I'll have some space too to be able to get a table in there, and then we can record in there and sit at a table and stuff. So that'll be fun. Yeah. And then you can make the drink at the table on camera. Yeah,
maybe we'll see how that goes for audio. But yeah, that definitely sounds fun because the weekly pairing is supposed to be the drink we have while we're talking about the movie, not while we're watching with it. So
yeah,
or not while we're watching it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be. I think it'll be. It's coming together more and more, and once that happens, we'll be, full sail ahead, I guess, with the ideas for the podcast, and it'll be great. And I'll actually get to hit you in person, and you'll get to see my actual facial reactions.
You can't hit me when you're working at a movie theater, so.
Yeah, I do value my job.
Yeah, imagine you hit me at the movie theater. Your coworkers see and they're like, "He slapped a customer." That would be insane. I just imagine
a lot of hot takes. Even in the conversations we've had in the months before we started the podcast, you've had some hot takes. But today you set a new record.
I do think, though, I'm just gonna give a suggestion. Because I kind of want to watch it to say I watch it. I think you need to recommend Titanic soon for a weekly showing in November.
Yeah, we could totally watch that because that's a Thanksgiving movie. They have dinner at some point in the movie.
I feel like you're trying to poke fun at me, and I don't really appreciate it.
I don't care what you appreciate. I am so beyond caring about your feelings right now. It's ridiculous.
Wow. Wow. That's awful.
Oh man, you know what?
Gosh.
Fuck you. Next week is Terrifier 2.
Oh, nope. Nope. We're sticking with 1408.
We're sticking with 1408. But still, I hate you right now. So much.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no.
All right. So, I think that's a good place to stop it. We went a little long today, but that's okay. We're at an hour and 23 right now.
Too bad.
Yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow on Spotify. All the things. Next week's Halloween. Not Halloween. 1408.
Oh.
And then the drink. What you said just bourbon?
Whiskey sour.
Whiskey sour. All right. So, we'll catch you guys on the next episode next week, hopefully. Anything else you want to say, Anthony?
No, I think I'm looking forward to next week as well. Hopefully, it's hopefully next week you don't hate the movie, so it should be a mutual liking of the movie. Hopefully,
based on what you told me, I don't think I will. Evil Dead Rise, I'll forever hate. Anyways. All right, thank you guys so much for watching or listening. We will see you on the next one. Bye.
Hey.